for listening. And standing by. Yes, we've been telling you all morning that we're going to have one of our, as they say, call them power talkers on the station with us this morning. And you know him. Some of you are definitely a fan favorite of him. He's with the Urban Financial Services Coalition and WB Lending Solutions. And he's here with us on the KPOO live line. Good morning, Walter. How you doing, sir?
Morning.
Okay, good. I got you, though. Sorry about that. I didn't get your good morning again, so I'll say it again, Walter. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry. I am doing fantastic. I hope that you're doing great, and I hope that the listeners are blessed and enjoying life.
Good. Walter, I've been looking at the news lately, and I had to call you up because I was looking at these values of these properties. They were talking about, I think it was Santa Clara County or something like that. They were talking about $2 million for the value of the average house. San Francisco was something like 1.7 million. Alameda County, I think, was 1.4 million, and San Francisco was 1.7 million. These rents, man. What can black people do, man? I mean, can we talk about this a little bit? What's happening here? I mean, are properties just getting out of the reach where no one will ever be able to buy a house again? Will you ever be able to buy one? I'm getting some background noise from you. I don't know what's happening there.
Okay, let's see. Let me make an adjustment. Are you still getting background noise?
No, I'm not. That's clear.
Okay, if it comes back in, please let me know. How's that? Is that okay?
That's better, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, in answer to your question about rising prices and what that means for new buyers, let me say first of all, Larry, that I want to just do a little statement.
Sure.
Thank you and the rest of the leadership of KPOO for allowing me to be on the air with you right now. I am going to state some things that are my personal opinions. They're not the positions of the Urban Financial Services Coalition necessarily, although I am the principal of WB Lending Solutions, so that would apply. And this is not intended to be legal or financial advice. See your accountant or lawyer for details. But this is certainly my opinion. And let me get to your question.
Well, my question. Go ahead.
I heard your question.
I thought you was asking me again, but I was going to repeat it. But no, you remember. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Prices are rising. We're over $1 million. Alameda County, San Francisco, Santa Clara. Can first-time buyers make a purchase right now? So, yes, things are different, however, right? So it's not. There's nobody coming to save us. This right now is a mental and spiritual game. If people are expecting for the government to come up with something or they're going to vote for somebody else, there's as much as being done right now. There's nobody coming to save us. Things are being done. And if I go back for a moment to the conversation that you and I had on the air in October of last year, I mentioned some deals that we were working on that we were seeing. And those deals have come to fruition now. And so I think there's some lessons in those deals about your question, about whether people can buy or not right now. People can buy, but there's not going to be a program that's going to necessarily give it to them at a price that they can just immediately afford with their current income. They're going to need to get a partner or bring in some other family members to put their money together to buy. They're going to need to have a side hustle, another business besides their own regular employment. And you remember pre-pandemic or in the middle of the pandemic, 2020, we were talking about all the different ways that people could start their own businesses to create more income because they would need it. And those folks that have done that, they've got additional cash flow resources happening right now. So people are doing this in this market, right? That is what's happening. I mentioned some first-time buyers that started a business that had less than 2 years of tax returns. They were turned down by a number of lenders, but they were creative in getting someone to hire her as an employee so that she was able to show wage income that qualified her to do the transaction. So it's going to be creative these days. And we're going to have to get out. We have so many people. Like I was at the doctor's office last week for my checkup. My doctor is from India, right? She's from India. She came over here, got her education. She's a doctor now, and making $400,000 a year. And for a lot of us in the States, we're just not aggressive like that. But they are aggressive, and they're the folks that are immigrating from different countries, Nigeria, Asia, they're hungry. And we're going to have to be humble, hungry, and smart to really buy right now. Nobody's going to give it to us. There are a number of programs, however, that are out there that I'm going to post on your website for the listeners to look at that will give grants to give people money for down payment and closing costs to help them buy. There are some programs that will allow a person to buy for less than market value, get a discount. And there are programs like that will do that, but the money comes and goes. It's not always there. And so a lot of times it's a lottery. There's some programs in San Francisco that I'm going to put over to your website from sf.gov around home buyer programs. There's a program in San Francisco, Home Ownership San Francisco, which is made up of a number of different home ownership and home buying organizations, everything from San Francisco Housing Development Corporation to others. And then there's other programs for folks outside of San Francisco in California, like the California Housing Finance Agency. And since you are international on the web, I also have information for folks nationally that we're going to post for first-time buyer programs state by state. So it is possible to buy, but it's a mental game. It's spiritual. I mean, it can be soul crushing if we just feed on what's in the media. We've got to go outside the media. We've got to use the people that we know. We've got to use our families. This isn't something where we can just push through like we used to in the old days.
Is part of the problem inventory? I mean, one thing we could talk about. I know there's a lot of aspects to discrimination that's going on with black folks out there trying to buy houses. I've heard of different stories about black folks having property and it being undervalued rather. Then they go out and get a white couple to come in and pose and take over, and then they get another evaluation, and the property is valued at a higher value. Those things out there, but is there enough housing out there? I mean, it just seems like there's so many people. Is there enough? Is that part of the problem as well?
Yes, it is. There is a shortage of housing, Larry. In the United States right now, the National Association of Realtors, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, a government organization, they state that right now the existing supply of housing that's available on average is about 800,000 to 900,000 homes in the United States that's available for sale on average for the first quarter of 2024. The number of people, potential home buyers that are out there is over 3 million. So you've got 3 million people chasing about 900,000 homes. So there is a supply problem. Yeah, that's true. It's not easy, but it can be done.
Yes, we're talking with financial services expert Walter Brown. And one reason why I like to have you on versus having real estate agents, because sometimes I think they give us the rosy pictures sometimes, and what I appreciate is that you're telling us that you have to be creative. It's just not a simple approach to this because of the what's going on out here. But you have young people in college that are coming out. They're going to be coming out, and what should they do? I mean, what advice would you give young people coming out of college who thought that going to college, doing the right thing, allegedly, getting their degrees, they were going to come out, they were going to find this, this pie in the sky with this dream home? What do you tell these young people? Because you got a lot of graduations going on right now, all over the place, right? What do you tell these college graduates coming out of college right now, Walter?
Well, I would say a number of things to them. First of all, I would say to them, you're graduating from college. You probably are living in a dorm or you're living in shared housing with other students, and you're accustomed to living in shared housing where you have a bedroom or you're sharing a bedroom with somebody else. There's a common kitchen and common bathroom. Don't be in a rush to go out and buy your own apartment or rent your own apartment for as much as you can afford so that you can start entertaining folks. Continue to have roommates. Continue to live that humble lifestyle and bank your money. Don't take 50% of your income for living expenses. Take 30% to invest it in savings, mutual funds, S&P 500 investment accounts. Start your retirement plan, and then use that other 20% for going out, entertainment, stuff like that. But don't. And then the other thing is, some folks graduate and they say, you know what, now I'm going to treat myself to a new car. And so they go out and buy, say, a new Mercedes, right? $85,000 Mercedes, 7-year loan, payments $900 a month. As soon as they drive it off the floor, it's only worth $75,000. It's going down fast from there. Not a good play. Keep driving your bucket. Stay humble. You have nothing to prove to people who really don't know you and people who don't care about you. Stay humble. And then the next thing would be, look at your circle of friends. The 5 people around you, you should not be the smartest one in the room. Associate with people that you see who own their own property, who are financially responsible, who are productive citizens. Be a sponge, learn from them. Go out and build your financial team next. Look at who you're going to start talking to for advice. Who is going to be your financial planner that you're going to talk to? And look at that, interview that financial planner. We've got a set of questions that people should be using when they think about who their financial planner should be. Look at who your real estate agent is going to be. A real estate agent isn't just to buy one house. A real estate agent is a relationship, and that person should be dealing with you from the standpoint of, this is your first house that you're going to buy, but it's not your last house that you're going to buy. And let's look at how you're going to do that. Look at who your tax advisor is going to be. No, I'm not talking about TurboTax. I'm talking about a real live person who will listen to your story and help you to see how to use the state and federal codes to your advantage to build wealth and avoid unnecessary taxation. These people also know people. These people also create additional networks for us. We right now are, in one sense, it said that we are more connected than we've ever been in history, right? On Instagram, on Facebook, we may have 10,000, quote, friends, unquote.
Right.
But they don't really know us, right? It's also said that we are more lonely than we have ever been in history because we are isolated in our silos after the pandemic. We haven't really gotten back out like we were pre-pandemic, and we have gotten accustomed to the dopamine hits from people giving us likes for, like I was posting sandwiches last week, right? And people were liking my sandwiches. So that was giving me hits. But I got out in the streets on Thursday night and I was hugging and kissing my friends and listening to music and all. We got to do that stuff. But these college graduates, they need to think about who they are with. You know, we've got different kind of friends. So these college graduates got to think about, okay, I've got friends who are fun but useless. I've got friends that will use me for information and then I don't hear from them. And then I've got friends who are ride or die. And then I've got friends who are smart, trying to grow and ride or die. That's the ones to focus in on. So those are some of the things that I would say as a start for college students. And then they develop their plan. And if they've got the right network, they're going to be saying to people, you know what, I'm looking for a house that I can buy, that I can house hack, right? So I don't mind sharing a house with 3 other people. I'm used to that. And so they buy that first house. Well, their CPA might have a client that's retiring. So their CPA says, you know, I've got a client that you should talk to. And now you avoid getting into the real estate rush because you've got a personal introduction. Or it might be the real estate agent that might have somebody that says, you know what, I've got somebody, they've got a health problem. I'm not going to be able to get the house staged and fixed up. So if you buy it as is, we can really make a good deal. Those are the things that happen in between the lines that I'm seeing right now where people are acquiring properties.
.com.